Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul, joined by Jack Weinberger, Robert Ziggy Ziegler at the University of Virginia, and look at producer Zach, ready to show himself on camera. Well groomed.
In his neon green.
Hinge profile going off. This guy, I mean, it's all sunshines and rainbows for producer Zach right now.
I heard from the grapevine that producer Zach is talking to a new woman.
I'm assuming he's always talking to a new woman. No?
You're right.
When you look like this, I mean, wait, Zach, go back to yourself real quick. Look at the beard line. Oh my gosh. That's a well-groomed man right there.
Yeah, I'm good.
And he works in construction too and looks that good. Could you imagine like what Zach would look like if his job wasn't like pushing around concrete and commanding people with a dirty job? I mean, this guy looks amazing. He's right from work.
I'm getting a little turned on back here.
That's fantastic. I can confirm it back here.
Yeah. Can you?
So yeah, we got producer Zach in the building. That's always a good day. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. We had the BS meter for football stories. Ziggy has a game he wants to play. Apparently, there are some locks for, I'm just going to keep it open. Ziggy has a game that he wants to play with everyone. I'll let him explain it when we get to it at the end of the show. Producer Zach came off the top rope earlier today. We were going to do the animal draft. He said, guys, that sucks. Let's do the sandwich draft. And as we started thinking of sandwiches off the tops of our heads, we're like, wait a second. There are enough sandwiches to do this. So you could really dive into what's a sandwich and what's not. We'll talk about that right before. We'll set the ground rules before the sandwich draft at the end of the show today. But we're going to start here. Actually, let's wish Zach a happy birthday. Yesterday was producer Zach's birthday as well.
Happy birthday, Zach.
2 days ago by the time this came out. So producer Zach, happy birthday as well. It's a
Thank you, boys.
Great day.
Had a nice little party yesterday at
Ziggy,
Zach's house.
Great job over the weekend with your Commanders Deebo Samuel trade reaction. I keep going on vacation, but Ziggy is holding down the fort here on the show with the solo reaction. A cool 2,000 views right there. Nice job, Ziggy.
That was the most of the talk I gave that day. I gave a talk earlier that day at the American Philosophical Association. One person stuck through for the entire talk. I got 2,000 people watching me on the Commanders. I'm only an expert on one of those things.
That's really funny, actually.
You're talking about the APA?
Yeah.
I gave a speech there once, too.
The APA?
At the APA, yeah.
What was your topic?
I forget. It was a while ago.
This is a Hinge profile.
Plato.
Oh, Plato. Which Plato?
but not the philosopher, the toy you play with in your kid.
Yeah.
So you did some Teen Wins work on gamification. Yeah. I know the type.
Yes, you can look it up. It was a good speech.
So I wanted to tell you guys this real quick, very brief. When I was in Las Vegas, I was getting cleaned out at the blackjack table. I don't really like to gamble, but this was like 2021. I'm losing consistently. Finally, I'm like, I'm done with this. Like I'm done losing money. I have $45 in chips left. And me and my dad are walking back depressed from this, getting ran out of the building at the Horseshoe. And I go, I'm just going to throw it down on roulette. Like, I'm just going to throw down $35 on black, and I'm going to put 10 on red 14. That's my birthday, October 14th. We walk back into the Bellagio. I sit down. I go to put my chips down. She goes, oh, excuse me, sir, just need to see your ID. Like the standard process. I said, yeah, sure, no problem. I'm handing her the ID as the ball is spun by someone else at the far end. My dad's standing there looking at the ball, and I'm going, like, she's like, yep, looks good. I'm like, awesome. And I go to play. She's like, oh, wait, we started. And I'm like, okay. I see my dad throw his hands up in the air, put them on his head, and go, no! Red 14 on the table. And I said, what the fuck? I just got up and left. And people were at the table like, where are you going? I'm like, no, I'm done. And I just walked back to my room. I think that was a sign.
It's not your day.
Yeah, that was a sign right there.
That's disappointing.
I didn't bet the rest of the trip. And I was done with it.
And you knew if like you had gotten it off, it wouldn't have been red 14.
No. I've convinced myself that if I had actually been able to get it on the board, that would have altered history, because like she would have, spent an extra second talking to me. And so I think I'm coming to peace with it. But it's like, you got to be.
That is very frustrating. And my lock I gave you lost too.
And I put $100 on Marist basketball, which is just horrible. So I wound up being down. Luckily, I was only down 200. So I was down 200. Didn't feel good about it. That's how much
money I make in a month.
Yeah, I didn't feel good about it, and I swore off gambling. We'll see how long that. I'm really not a big gambler. But
I'm losing a couple hundred a night. I mean, it's nothing for me.
I can't stay. If I go down $60, I get mad. But I think that's a good thing. Okay, so we're gonna get to the BS meter, but we thought it'd be fun since it's the off season, and we're just looking for fun topics to talk about. If we introduced a new segment, that we'll see how it's received. But we're going to go with the dumbest thing I've seen today. And Jack's going to take us there. And I mean, Jack, I'm wondering how many things you come across.
So is there any reason that I'm leading the dumbest thing you've seen segment?
You introduced
People in the comments can guess why Jack is leading off this segment.
It is quite ironic that I'm leading the dumbest things segment. But I think the dumbest thing that I've seen today, and I do see a lot of dumb things in a day. That's not an insult to anybody. I just haven't run across some
yes, I shout out to the people who Jack follows on social media.
So I saw today on Instagram that there was a man who got into an argument with his wife. And to cool off, quote unquote, cool off, he decided to go for a 450-kilometer walk. Took him 97 hours. Now, I don't know like the kilometer to mile conversion,
You know
but
who does? I know somebody who does.
Ziggy.
Yeah.
It's 280 about.
So he walked about 280 miles, took him 97 hours just to cool off from an argument with his wife. Now, do I think that's dumb? I don't know. But I just thought it was like
280 miles.
I mean, if I got into an argument with somebody and was just like so fed up, I'd just go for a walk, cool off. And then you know what? I'll just keep walking, like Forrest Gump it.
I mean, at what point? At what point into that walk, you're like, "Screw it! I'm going for a record or something here." Like at some point, you have to be like, "Wait, what am I doing?"
I think I'd be cooled off after like 2 miles and come back.
That's
like Jack, you said how many hours did it take him?
97.
So that means he was averaging 3 miles an hour for 97 hours straight.
That can't be true. This can't be true.
I mean, I saw it on Instagram. 3 miles an hour is slow.
I love how Jack's validating it. I mean, I saw it on Instagram.
I saw it on the Puberty Instagram account, which is an actual account. I'll pull it up right now.
I mean, I could see myself doing that after like Vikings Rams or Vikings Lions this year. Just be like, I gotta get the hell out of this house. Just keep going.
Yeah,
it's bad games.
Man walked 450. Oh,
Well,
wait.
Didn't read it properly. This might be the dumbest thing we heard today.
Yeah, look, what does that say? 97 hours, right?
Yeah, 97 hours, 420 kilometers. Yeah.
Oh, it was 420 kilometers, not 450.
Still.
Yeah.
It's still a lot.
Unbelievably fast.
Dude, this dude was pissed
I mean,
off.
he was
really pissed off.
I wonder what happened. This guy was angry.
Well, there you go. The dumbest thing we saw today. And we'll continue on. If people enjoyed that, we'll continue doing that into future shows potentially.
Maybe one of our viewers was the guy who did it. You never know.
So, Tee Higgins was franchise tagged today. The last thing before the BS meter. $26.2 million franchise tag on Tee Higgins. They're hoping to get a contract extension for him done over the next couple of months. Adam Schefter did say on Monday, however, that the Bengals and Tee are nowhere close because Tee's, if he were on the open market, would probably get north of $30 million. That seems a lot for Tee Higgins now. Like, I like Tee Higgins, but $30 million, like, you're shaking your head.
That's what free agency is. In free agency, you get, if you're close to a good guy, you get paid like one of the best of the position.
Yeah, that's... look, I think Tee Higgins is very good. I would not want to pay him $30 million a year. That just feels excessive. Like, if you were the Packers,
when you have to pay Jamar Chase, who actually deserves it.
Yeah, well, Jamar Chase is going to get $40 million a year. And I think for the Bengals, so Jack, you're an AFC North guy. You pay attention to what moves are going on in that division.
Yeah, to an extent.
For the Bengals, who are going to have to re-sign Jamar, Burrow's getting a lot of money already. If they wind up getting a deal with Tee Higgins, I feel like in the back of your mind, you're kind of like, all right, good. Like, keep that defense weak. Keep that defense as horrible as it was last season. Spend all your money.
I mean, yeah, look what Joe Burrow and Jamar did last year, and the Bengals had 8 wins because you could walk all over that defense. I think somebody like Tee Higgins is, again, he's asking what he's going to ask for is a lot of money, but I think somebody like him is very valuable. Where I'd actually consider doing it. I think it's so important. Like, it is so nice. You're an immediate advantage when you have 2 solid wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And like Pittsburgh, like a team like us, like we've lacked that for a long time. And you see it. It's noticeable. When you have a good quarterback and there's 2 solid wide receivers, that's an offense that's near impossible to stop. I mean, without Tee Higgins, okay, we know who we have to go in here and contain.
Slow down, yeah.
When Tee Higgins is there, that's all easier said than done. All right, well, it's Jamar Chase, but you can't really...
Tee has his moments, too.
Yeah, because Tee's there and Tee's good. Now, do I think he's worth over $30 million? I don't know. I do think there's a lot of good receivers in the draft. You can go to the draft. But I mean, if I had got him ahead and I'm Cincinnati, the defense really is so bad. But I think I would pay Tee Higgins what he asked for, yeah.
Ziggy, how about you?
The thing is, here's why I was surprised to see Tee Higgins got tagged because I didn't think they'd go this direction. But You don't want to let elite talent walk out of the building. We've seen the Bengals do that before. We've seen where it's gotten them. And the thing is the Bengals don't need a good defense to be one of the best teams in the NFL. They need an average defense. Last year's defense was down there with some of the worst defenses in the NFL, right? It was down there with Vegas. It was down there with Jacksonville. It was down there with the Titans. I like the idea of signing Tee Higgins and targeting defensive players in the draft, hoping some of them hit, and hoping that law of averages just makes your defense closer to average. Because if you can do that, you know that with Jamar, with Joe Burrow, with Tee Higgins, you have one of the best offenses in the NFL. If you let them walk, I think the offense will still be good, but I'm taking the guaranteed elite unit over the trying to make the defense slightly above average.
Yeah.
I totally get what you guys are saying.
It's also like the NFL now is really an offensive game, more so than defense. And I think that's different than what it's been like in the past. And if you can, what Ziggy was saying, like just like hoping the law of averages comes into play, and this defense is okay, and you have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins, there's a huge difference in my eyes if you take Higgins away from that.
But see, one thing, so just to kind of play devil's advocate, because I get what you guys are saying about T being awesome and the Bengals unstoppable. Like you just saw the blueprint for beating the Chiefs, though, is a world-beating defense and the front, really just the front four that can get after the quarterback, get after Mahomes.
But they're not going to be able to sign 2 elite edge rushers in free agency. That's not happening. We know another blueprint for beating Mahomes. Have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Tee Higgins. We've seen that formula work too.
It has worked before. I'm just saying that, like, if their defense, if you could go and re-sign Tee Higgins, extend him, whatever, but you're going to need to have a plan to address the defense, and I think it's got to be a plan that you really believe in before you commit that much money to someone. Like Trey Hendrickson, to me, should be prioritized over Tee Higgins.
I just think you draft defense.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that philosophy too. But it's
they can't get an elite defense. It's not happening. They will not have an elite defense for the next few years. So I would go in on the elite offense and just try to have a functional defense.
Was the Bengals defense like elite when they went on all those AFC championship runs?
No, it was solid. It was a solid defense that got hot at the end of the year with Lou Anarumo.
Yeah, but that was Burrow, Chase, and Higgins.
Burrow was amazing. Yeah, I mean Chase was a rookie the first year. I think
he had like the best rookie season in NFL history at the position.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's great. It would be dumb to come out here and say Tee Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow is not an electrifying trio. It's just you watch that defense this year, and to me, it's like know what your problem is. I think with Joe Burrow, he's good enough to beat Patrick Mahomes. Like Lamar Jackson's Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, those guys, they're the people in the league that can elevate an offense without having necessarily the best players in the world around them. I think most people would say that. So I just look at it like if you could prioritize the defense that lost you the season this year, and they they were hot at the end of the year too. Like they won 5 in a row. Who knows if they got in, what would have happened? I'm still okay with T, but just you need to have a plan.
Who's the name you brought up?
Trey Hendrickson?
Yeah. If they went and got him.
Well, they have him.
Right.
But they extend him.
Yeah, so extend him and then let go of Tee Higgins, you're saying.
I'm saying if you had to make the decision. I think they'll probably end up having all 3.
Yeah, but
look at who they can get in free agency, right? Like they could sign DJ Reed for like $25 million a year, or you can have Tee Higgins for 30. I'm keeping T all day.
But I think they get significant. Like if you extend a player on defense but lose Tee Higgins, even though you save millions, I think you get worse.
It all depends. I'm looking at what the Vikings did last year when they signed Van Ginkel and they got Grenard, and then they drafted Dallas Turner, and they brought in Blake Cashman from the Texans. Like a lot of that was because they were willing to let Kirk Cousins go, and then they also didn't extend Danielle Hunter. Like they made tough decisions letting those guys go. But when you're able to accumulate talent, you can turn around a team faster. Like $30 million is a lot of money. I mean, you could spread that out across a couple players. So again, though, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate to you guys. I like Tee Higgins a lot. I think if you can do it and it fits in the cap and the cap went up again, go for it. I'm saying the Bengals can't lose sight of what needs to be fixed. If they come in next year with a defense that's allowing 30 points a game, it's going to be like, all right, what are you going to do? Like,
I'm hoping T gets to Pittsburgh.
Trade him. Trade for him. All right, let's get into this BS meter here. So we're going to go through a couple storylines and say whether or not We think it's BS right now. We'll start off, and Jack was not happy that this was included in the rundown for today's show. But the Giants, they wanted Matthew Stafford. Apparently, they're turning their attention right now on Aaron Rodgers. The Giants should add Aaron Rodgers. Is that BS to you?
That's total BS. I mean, I'm upset that we're talking about Aaron. I think Aaron Rodgers is just. I think he stinks. I think he's done. And if I'm the Giants, I'd rather take a shot with a 4th overall pick.
Third.
Right. So you're gonna get Shedeur or Cam Ward. I don't love those guys, like I've said before, but I think you're so much better off taking a shot with a young, athletic 22-year-old than you are with this guy Aaron Rodgers.
I agree with you.
If you put Aaron Rodgers on the Giants, it's not like he makes them a whole lot better, in my opinion. I don't think he's that good anymore. Whereas there's a world where Shedeur and Malik Neighbors could be electric, and if Shedeur pans out, you have him for years. It's worth taking that shot than bringing in this mummy.
Well,
like this is total BS.
Wait, what about like drafting Shedeur or Cam and then just bringing Rodgers in for 1 year as a bridge?
The Giants are smarter than that.
Are they? Are they?
No, but here's the thing, Jack, is I think you're absolutely right that this is a terrible decision.
But why do you
Here's
waste
why
your
they're
time
going to
with
do
it
it anyway. Both Shane and Brian Dable are on the chopping block. They need to make the playoffs next year and then some to keep their jobs, I think. Though, who knows? I was shocked they kept their jobs
They're
this
not
year.
going to the playoffs with Rodgers.
I think Rodgers gives them a better chance than drafting a rookie.
Joe Shane said, I'm looking... His quote was, and take this for what it's worth, he's looking for the best player available to help us win games in 2025.
And I think what you hope is, even though there's all sorts of red flags of Aaron Rodgers, over his last, 6 games, he threw for 14 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Yeah,
I think you just hope that he plays well. I think that's their best chance.
I think
that's disastrous, but that's what they're going to do.
I think you just draft a rookie. Whether it be like,
start over
and get fired, right? You can do what the Bears did: draft Caleb Williams and then get fired.
But no. But it's different. That's a different situation, in my opinion. Like if you draft Shedeur, I don't think you're expected right away to be like, we're going to come out.
No, but I mean that's what happened.
But then Mara's going to fire you anyway. You have to draft the guy who's going to win you the most games next year if you want to keep your job.
But I don't think I don't think Rodgers wins them any more than Shedeur Sanders will.
I think there's a chance he does, and that's why they're going to do it.
If you take Shedeur, it's like, all right, you can start him out earlier now instead of having him sit for a year.
I see what you're saying, Ziggy, and I actually think that would be the reason, because if you just look at it on paper, I've talked about Aaron Rodgers going to the Vikings a few times. I've talked about Rodgers going to the Vikings a few times. I think that's like completely different than if he goes to the Giants. Like Rodgers for 1 year while McCarthy's getting healthy, if the Vikings don't feel that it's time. You got the weapons, you got the coach, you have a better culture there right now. The Giants, like you talk about bad cultures right now. Who knows what the hell's going on in New York, right? And on both teams. And then Rodgers, you bring him into this situation, and he is like the ultimate distraction. Even though Rodgers says, "I want my team focused on the games." Remember, he would go to the podium and say
he's
that.
He's just a liar.
Then he's like,
just a liar.
He's in Egypt. He's running for vice president. He's talking about Jeffrey Epstein on McAfee. Like he's all over the place. He's bringing in his guys. He's demanding his offense. Like Rodgers is the ultimate distraction. So a team like, again, it's weird that I've talked about him wanting him on my team, but I think he could still play for maybe 1 year in the right place. And I think Minnesota could be that if he went there. New York, would be a nightmare.
But
New York would be a nightmare.
Here's the difference between this situation and Caleb Williams is a lot of people felt that the Bears had a lot of decent potential, and Caleb was like the best prospect of all time. Whereas that's not Shedeur Sanders.
But also remember why Eberflus got fired. What happened right before Eberflus got fired? The Hail Mary game against Washington, where one of your players was celebrating before the play. The time management game against the Lions, where they let the clock run out. It was like game after game where it was baffling head coaching.
But okay, right. But that's
that's what I'm saying.
Totally
I'm helping you. I'm helping you out here.
Yeah,
like that situation. I don't know if Eberflus is fired if they're 5-2 after that Commander game instead of losing, going to 4-3 and having the season spiral. It might be a little different there, but I get what you're saying too, Ziggy. Like the pressure is on Shane, especially with the publicity of Saquon winning a Super Bowl, and Daniel Jones being released. Like Shane has made 2 really bad decisions in the past 2 years.
But with the Giants too, like right now they're just they're so far behind. Like, no matter who's playing quarterback next year, there's not going to be any expectations. I think it looks worse if you bring in Aaron Rodgers, who's been hurt, who's old, and now is off a mediocre, 5-12 season, and he stinks. That's worse than drafting Shedeur and having him stink.
Do they have to pay Rodgers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
So how much would you pay him?
I have no idea what he'll want. If you're going in for the Aaron Rodgers experience, you do whatever he wants. That's just how it works.
Well, that's the other thing.
You're better off just drafting a rookie right
Yeah,
away.
I totally agree with you. So, but now, interesting though, when we're talking about the BS meter, we said the Giants should add Aaron Rodgers. If we said the Giants will add Aaron Rodgers, you think, Ziggy, that they'll do it because the pressure's on. Do you think that they're smart enough to avoid it?
No. No, I don't think they'll do it.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's principal agent problem. I don't think I think the smart thing to do is sign Aaron Rodgers and hope he's brilliant.
Oh, that's
I don't think
okay.
they're idiots for doing it. I think it's just this is why you don't give those guys the job this year.
Okay, so you're calling high BS, Jack. You're calling low. I'm also calling low BS on it. Like, if we're going 1 to 10, I think it's like a 4 that they will. I think they're going to try and make a move.
I think it's total BS.
Interesting.
Okay.
If I was the GM, I'd take Dart 3 overall. And I'd call it a day.
Ziggy, I know that you said we've talked a little bit about this, but it's back in the news here. The Jets are reportedly taking calls on Davante Adams. I saw it great. I can't remember who wrote the article. He's like, what's the call? Like, hey guys, hey Woody, good luck trading Davante because no one's probably going to make a move.
No, he can't be traded.
Yeah, he's not going to be traded. He'll wind up being cut. But with Aaron Rodgers, I guess potentially going to New York or staying in New York, the rumors are that Davante might follow him. A lot of Packers fans from this channel want Green Bay to go after Adams if he's released. So the question I'm going to ask for you guys here is that should the Packers continue to go after Davante? Now with Tee Higgins off the board, DK Metcalf rumors have been swirling. Is Davante the guy that the Packers should go for?
I just somebody like Davante Adams who was so good for so many years.
This is the same thing for you, like Rodgers.
Yeah, like it doesn't mean that he's still that Davante Adams. I don't think he is.
He had a couple games towards the end of the year though, where
I know he did, but Green Bay, they have a decent plethora of weapons. I guess Adams. Like, do you really think Adams is that much better than those guys at this point?
Yes.
Well, then you'd go for it. I don't know if he is.
No, and that's the question.
I think Adams being great 5-6 years ago with Rodgers in his prime is different than Davante Adams now.
Well, between like Davante, let me ask you between these guys. Let's say Tee Higgins is gone.
Oh, they already have
with the Bengals.
4 or 5 guys.
Well, Watson's out for most of the year. Remember, he's hurt.
Oh, that's right.
So Watson's already gone for most of the season. Between Davante, Metcalf, like Chris Godwin, like what?
Chris Godwin doesn't strike me as very available.
I thought he was going to be. Oh, well, he's probably going to. I thought he was supposed to be a free agent.
Yeah, but he's going to get re-signed by the Buccaneers.
Probably, but he hits the market. I mean, I'm just naming guys who are potentially available. Like, where is Davante?
Look, I mean,
do you think he's in that mix, right?
I'd probably go for him before any of those guys. I mean, last time we saw Davante really awesome was in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers seeming to be in shape and younger and not washed up yet.
He had at least a good year. He had some good years in Vegas.
You already did, but I'm talking like if you there's a world where you bring in Davante Adams with a young Jordan Love where he becomes the guy again. And that's why I would take him over, DK over Godwin. I mean, can it hurt to make that move? No, I guess it can.
What do you think, Ziggy?
I think that like DK Metcalf and Chris Godwin both come with gigantic free agent price tags. DK is going to want a giant extension after the trade. Godwin's going to want who knows how much money. He's going to want to be paid like one of the best. I don't think Davante Adams is going to ask for that kind of money. Now, he's going to want to get paid, but I think Davante's aware that of his current spot in his career, he can only sign maybe a 2-year deal with the Packers. So because the investment is a lot less and you don't have to commit nearly as much into the future, I really like it. I think DK Metcalf there's things to be excited about, but it doesn't seem like he's for sale. And I think he's overrated. Chris Godwin is great, but I don't think he's moving, and I think he'd be too expensive.
Coming off major injury as well.
Yeah, well, he's been great coming off major injury. I don't care. But I think that Davante Adams is a realistic option. This isn't like nostalgic Packers hype. I think he's the best option available for them, given the situation they're in.
I think I agree with you there. What do you guys think of? Here's a name that we really talked about last year. Could Stephon Diggs possibly be in that mix?
No.
You
don't want. He's too old. He's too hurt. No.
It's Davante Adams. Isn't Davante Adams older than Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, but Stephon Diggs blows his knee open every season.
Sure.
Diggs just
Davante Adams is like 1 year older. Diggs is older than you think.
No, Diggs, isn't he? What is he, 30, 31?
He's 31 and a half.
Weren't the Texans a game better without him?
Were they last year?
Yeah.
He got hurt.
I feel like Davante's giving Hopkins vibes right now.
That's an interesting thought. Go expand on it. But Zach, a little closer to the microphone, please.
Yes, we can hear you.
No, I was just thinking he's given such like Hopkins vibes now, where he's just gonna go from team to team, chasing the Super Bowl.
It just kind of suck.
And just kind of maybe not suck.
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, he put up like 600 yards and a dozen touchdowns last
be
year.
Like mediocre. Like that's what he's turning. I feel like as of recently, he's turning out to be just like no longer superstar, just like a DeAndre Hopkins. Like he's good. He'll catch a pass here and there, and just.
But the best days are behind him here.
If you're the Packers, you'll take a mediocre receiver as long as he catches the ball when it's thrown at him. You basically led the league in drops despite being like 20th in pass attempts.
Yeah, here you go.
I do think Tee Higgins getting tagged, he was one of the targets that Green Bay had. Like this helps the Davante to Green Bay storyline that a lot of Packers fans are looking for. But let me see, what did he end the year with? I thought he ended last season with a couple of really big games. Did he not?
I think he did actually. Yeah.
No, he did. No, Davante went on a heater once the Jets offense started clicking a little bit.
Yeah.
Like people aren't talking about him like a guy that put up 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns last year. Put up 200 against the Jaguars. Zach, how do you do against the Dolphins?
No, I mean,
is this guy coming at me right now?
Like he's good.
If you bring Davante back to Green Bay and put him playing with the young Jordan Love, there's a chance
he'll be good. I believe it.
And I mean, Packers, good offensive line. You have Josh Jacobs in the back. And again,
don't tell Packers fans about that good offensive line.
Yeah, sorry. The Packers, though, again, the culture there and like how everything works is so much better than New York. Like it's just better vibes.
Oh, like he'll be good again, Davante.
Yeah, like Davante would go in, like blue sky franchise. Davante would come back and he'd have one of those like Jerry Rice, age 30
like
plus.
Rodgers
seasons.
For the Giants would just be
a disaster.
Abysmal.
You can see. I think. Don't you think Rodgers in Minnesota would actually be okay?
If he could get in the line. I don't believe in Aaron Rodgers anymore.
I really do like, as far as the BS meter goes, like there's zero BS. Like the Packers are going after Davante Adams, and I think it's, unless if he decides to follow Aaron wherever Aaron goes, the right move for Davante is to go back to Green Bay, right? Instead of following Rodgers. Like, wouldn't you rather play for the Packers and that team right now and compete for a Super Bowl than follow Rodgers to Tennessee or Indianapolis or the Giants?
Yeah.
Like that, I mean, what a miserable end to Davante's career if that's the case.
Although, what if the Giants are like, what if Rodgers is low-key good again and you get Adams and Neighbors?
Giants win the Super Bowl. the Giants would make the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't. That O-line is the most garbage O-line I've ever seen.
Yeah, because everyone was hurt.
I mean,
what's difference going to happen this year?
All right, Paul, what's next on the meter?
Yeah, let's move on.
It is. It's interesting that the Giants could be close if things go the right way.
I mean, if you watch the Ziggy show from Matthew Stafford, I've been on them for a while.
All right, I'm sorry. Let me pull back. I pulled down the notes. All right,
Are you going Cowboys #1 pick?
Yeah, and then I had one I added in that I think will be just funny listening to you guys talk about. All right, so the Cowboys. This is Ziggy's boy, Mike Florio said. It was a really funny quote. Yeah, a little plot.
Don't say that.
He's a Viking fan. We Vikings fans. We stick together. Mike Florio goes, I did hear yesterday. You hear all sorts of stuff, and I don't like to traffic in stuff I've heard because I don't know how accurate it is. So already we're off to a flying start.
When Mike Florio says it's just stuff he's heard, you know it's completely made up.
He said, I did have somebody tell me that the Cowboys have talked to the Titans about moving up to the #1 pick. Do you guys call BS on Dallas moving all the way up from 12 to 1 in the draft?
Well, they.
Go
ahead, Ziggy. No, you got it.
It's a polite offer.
I'm sure they've talked. I mean, yeah, if I needed a quarterback, I'd dial the phone and say, "Hey, what's the price?" And then I'd realize what the price of moving up to #1 overall is. If you look at the price, you can look at some trades, right? You can look at the RG3 trade, you can look at the Wentz trade, the Goff trade, the Darnold trade, even like the Bryce Young trade. Moving up to #1 overall is incredibly expensive. And the fact is, maybe you justify that when you desperately need a quarterback to be remotely good next year. But the fact is, like, you still owe Dak Prescott $100 million in guaranteed money. Like you can't afford to move off of Dak Prescott. It's not possible. You owe him next year. You owe him the year after. Like maybe you could take the hit moving on from him in like 2027. But I see no reason to leverage my future to trade to get Shedeur Sanders. And I've got Dak Prescott in the building and can hope that he gets good again.
Ziggy, you got it all wrong, my man. You got it all wrong. Because next year in Dallas, we're seeing Dak, CD, and Travis Hunter. And that's why.
Trade up to number one for Travis Hunter.
That's why they're trading up for number one. So I ain't going to call any BS.
You think they're actively trying to get up to get Travis Hunter? Mm-hmm. Well, there are rumors out there, that Trayvon Diggs is on the block right now, too. So that's another thing in Dallas. There's no world where they would trade up to number one. It wouldn't be for a quarterback.
They're not taking Shedeur.
No, I'm saying like...
And they're not trading up to number one.
Why, like, you can't trade... You're not making that big of a move if it's not for a franchise-altering player.
Hunter would be a franchise-altering player.
That's the question, I guess, then. If you think
Travis Hunter... want to run back the primetime experience?
Dak... The whole thing in Dallas with Dak has been, they've gotten slack. Right, CD has 297 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Cowboys lose because they have nobody else. I mean, now Dak, CD, and Travis Hunter.
Dallas would be crazy enough to look at Travis and be like, "Hey, dude, go out there both ways, run him into the ground," and they'd look at it and be like, "Hey, if we could move on from Diggs, get more draft compensation from Trayvon, we have our number one cornerback, and we get our number 2 receiver." I mean, that's that. Yep. Like, yeah, I mean, I could see Jerry Jones thinking about that and saying this will, like, there's no way this won't work.
Dallas, they're spenders. They got the money. They're a big name program.
I'm calling total BS. I think the conversation was, hey, what would it take to get up to 1? And they go, for a lot from 12. And Dallas like, all right, we'll see you later. But
you remember what the Bears paid to move up from 3 to 2 or from 4 to 3 for what the 49ers didn't even think was a quarterback? It's a pile.
No, it's hard. It's hard to move. But again, this year is not. I wonder how high the asking price of Tennessee moves out of 1. I wonder what that asking price will be.
I mean, Tennessee needs they're going to take a.
Everyone thinks. I mean, you said you take Abdul Carter a week ago. But that's the thing. Like,
he'll be a generational beast. You can't. You can't pass up on him
unless you get a generational haul from the Cowboys to go down to 12.
Yeah,
I would just be shocked if Dallas did that. But again, the Cowboys do stunning things like this.
Number 12 is the second best pick in the NFL draft, behind only number 11.
Yeah, I don't. Ziggy has this whole philosophy of like what picks are the most valuable.
So you definitely wouldn't make.
So Ziggy hates this.
You definitely keep.
Why would you trade the second best pick in the draft?
Yeah, for a boatload.
I can't remember the math behind it, but there's definitely some sort of math. All right,
it's Thalian Massive. You can track this down if you can read.
Ziggy,
you can read.
Are you a lunatic, Ziggy?
What?
Absolutely.
I would call
him. If you knew my actual views on things, you would conclude I'm a lunatic.
I remember Ziggy walking into my room senior year of college for the show. He's like, "Hey, Paul, I really think that I have something interesting here." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "33rd pick is better than 32nd in the draft." I was like, "Please elaborate." And he went into his whole thing. I was just like, "No, I'd rather have a first round pick than a second." And again, if you can read, though, you're probably right, like Ziggy. So,
okay.
This is what I wanted to ask you guys.
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders has been up at the podium a lot recently, and he said he'll change the culture and fate of the franchise that drafts him. I don't want to ask like BS meter on that because I know that I know you guys aren't super high.
That's what every guy says.
No, but I want to ask you.
Yeah, what are you gonna say? Oh, it's gonna say the same.
Well, I wanted to be a follower. Man.
I wanted to ask you guys: does Shedeur at all? Does the whole Shedeur Sanders shtick, does that rub you guys the wrong way at all? If you were a team, like Josina Anderson came out and was talking about how one team representative said that the meeting didn't go well and that Shedeur was brash and like a little arrogant.
I think he strikes me as a very arrogant and cocky person. Like, he gives me vibes as somebody who thinks he's a lot better than he actually is. Whereas,
so you think he crosses from confident to arrogant?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, he's Deion Sanders' son. He was probably the man on campus.
I'm sure.
Yeah, couldn't take his team to the playoff. Now he's getting number 1 pick hype and all this and all that. We've seen players so much better than Shedeur come out of the draft, and Shedeur now is.
But do you blame him for being confident? Like so you actually think that it's to the point where you're like, I'm kind of tired of doing this?
I think the guy's cocky. He played a couple years at Colorado, and now he hasn't played a game in the NFL yet. Now he's wearing New York Giants cleats in the bowl game and loses by 30. That's not confidence. That's arrogance. Now,
go ahead.
So one more thing is when it comes to changing the culture and what do you bring up about that, I do firmly believe that a guy like Shedeur Sanders does mean that. Like, I think Deion Sanders has
instilled that
raised and coached him a certain way. Like Deion
and wherever
Sanders,
he's going is going to be a loser franchise.
Well, I can't say I disagree, but like Deion Sanders has, like, his kids can't go to class in slides. Like, they got to come dressed up. They got to be on time. All this, yada yada yada. So I do believe that he's raised Shedeur a certain way, but I think Shedeur has taken that and run with it a little more arrogant than he should be. Like, I don't know if he's good.
That is how Deion is too. Like Deion
is, and Deion was amazing. But do I think Shedor's going to come in and take a team to a
like? Is he going
to
do what C.J. Stroud or Jaden Daniels did?
Yeah, like that. I have a hard time seeing.
Okay.
I'm rubbing my crystal ball here.
I don't know what that is.
I have ordained which teams have leaked that Shedeur Sanders is arrogant and brash. It is the Las Vegas Raiders and the New York Jets, hoping that this scares off someone above them. No, I'm totally selling this. Of course you're going to come out and say, I'm going to change the culture where I'm drafted. That's what everyone says. And you look at the teams that can draft him, the Titans, garbage franchise. The Giants, garbage franchise. The Raiders, garbage franchise. The Jets, garbage franchise. Like, the teams that are interested in drafting a quarterback always are bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes a world of sense for him to say that. Look, yeah, does he say too much? Sure. But all anybody cares about in the NFL is whether you're a good player. You could be the humblest guy in the world, and if you suck, nobody cares. You can say whatever you want, and if you're good, everybody thinks you're just like confident, backing it up on the field. So no, I'm totally selling this. I don't care at all.
Yeah, I'm cool with it too, because Josina Anderson, who did, as I was saying, reported that he came off as arrogant in the meeting. She said that for the rest of the combine, you know, he seemed to be very nice, welcoming to any reporter. Didn't matter the status, answered all the questions. So I do think I see what you're saying, Jack. I think that there is an arrogance to Shedeur Sanders. But I don't think he's I don't look at him and go oh, he's a problem. Like, he's a bad kid. I just see I see him like he's the spitting image of Deion. He's like Deion, and if he's great, if you could back it up, all the more power to you. But the NFL is a different level.
It rubbed me the wrong way when he was in his bowl game, final game at Colorado, and he's wearing New York Giants custom cleats.
That's understandable.
And then going to lose by 30 points.
I think that's very understandable.
Like, that pissed off BYU. That got them hungry. That got them hot, and BYU destroyed him. Like, Shedeur came in wearing these Giants cleats, and it was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And that rubbed me. That didn't sit well with me.
I think that's fair. I don't think you're wrong for having that opinion there. Okay, the last thing before we move on to Ziggy's game. Buying or selling, so with the BS meter, that Myles Garrett is off the market. The Browns, they continue to come out and say, there's no way in hell that they're trading Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett saying there's no way in hell I'm signing an extension with the Browns. Do you truly think that he's off the market?
I'd have a hard time believing that he wouldn't be on the Browns. I mean, the Browns to give him up would be insanity.
But he's saying, he said, I want to leave. I'm not re-signing. This is a team of losers. Is basically what he said. He said, I want to win, and I'm tired of being part of this losing franchise.
I also do think he's overrated.
Yeah, we can't get into that. That's
here's the deal. Right?
Ziggy's muttering to himself. It's so ridiculous.
Myles Garrett can say he doesn't want to re-sign if he wants. The Browns control him for 3 more years.
Oh yeah, it's not up to him.
They got him for 2 more years under contract, and then they can franchise tag him at least once, maybe twice if they want. When he signed that deal long ago, he gave up the right to decide where he goes. So it's kind of if the Browns want to keep him, they can keep him. Financially trading him doesn't make sense. Team building trading him doesn't make sense. He's been talking about trade requests for a long time, and it hasn't gone anywhere. He's fed up. He wants the team to improve. I think he's just trying to give him a kick. He ain't leaving.
I mean, that is so Browns, though. It's like your best player, your only capable player, will come into next season just not wanting to be there.
Because he went all in on Deshaun Watson.
Admittedly, and he's admittedly said the rest of these guys are horrible.
Yeah, he said it's not about the money. Yeah. It's about winning. And
he's one of the best of all time. Yeah. And he's just riding away on the Browns.
Well, he's 29. He sees his opportunity. He sees his windows right here to win. And who knows how long. Myles Garrett could be great another 5-6 years. He's one of those dudes, but he's tired of it, and I don't blame him. They're horrible all the time. And actually, I could see a world, though, where once the Browns are able to get past this Deshaun Watson thing, I know you want Myles Garrett on your team, but if he's so furious that he's not going to play, and I actually think he might be willing to sit out games. Like, he might just say, I'm done.
You think he'll sit out 3 seasons?
He might.
He'll just give up on his career?
I think he might. I think he's pissed off. And the Browns wouldn't just let him sit there and eating up cap space. Like,
yeah, they would.
Well,
they're an inept franchise.
I think it's I really think it's a standoff. And if the Browns, the best thing for the Browns could actually wind up being to trade him at some point. If you trade him now, get your draft picks, eventually get on from Deshaun, like blow this whole thing up because he doesn't want to be there.
In order to trade him, they have to commit to another year of Deshaun Watson. That's the only way to make the money work. That's why they can't trade him, at least until after the draft.
Yeah, but
after the draft, what, you want 2027 picks? No.
I think they might. If he's not going to play, and I really think he's going to stand on this. I don't think he'll be a Brown next year.
I also don't know why he cares.
He wants to win.
But why? Like, if you're making so much money to be a superstar on a franchise, like, why not just stay with him?
Being a superstar and winning a Super Bowl ring is more fun, I think. I think Saquon had a lot more fun last year than he did with the Giants.
You know, the Eagles are actually the team rumored to be going after Myles Garrett.
Well, if they can get him.
How is that possible? Right?
Yeah,
they can afford him.
No, I know. I'm saying, but how is it like if the Eagles got Myles Garrett? Could you imagine, like, the team that just did that to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl? If they had Myles Garrett, I saw Lions articles.
Yeah,
Lions people were writing articles saying if he goes to the Eagles, we don't have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Lions fans are writing that, and the Lions are really.
No, I think I'd actually probably agree, though.
That would be. Could you imagine lining up Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and Myles Garrett and just that whole defense, Cooper DeJean and Quinton Mitchell get an extra year under their belt?
Could you imagine what happens to Najee Harris in a game like that?
Imagine what happens to Shedeur Sanders in a game like that. Yeah.
Wait.
If you want to know what's up with Myles Garrett and you think the Eagles thing is real, keep an eye on Milton Williams.
Okay.
I think that the Eagles are posturing like they might let him walk. If they let him walk, I think it's because they think they're going
to go in on Garrett. Sorry, Zach.
It doesn't
producer Zach is trying to shut you down there, Ziggy. But I love
producer Zach.
I love that you power.
I'm trying to figure out why.
Wait, what did you say? What did Ziggy just say?
Go ahead, Ziggy.
What do you got, producer Zach? What
does he ever contribute?
in on Myles Garrett?
Go ahead, Zach.
No, I was just like, why wouldn't the Browns want to blow things up now?
Throw yourself on camera, man.
They can't afford to.
Enjoy it.
It's that simple. They don't have the money
now. But you're not going to win next year. You're not going to win.
No, but in order to have the money to afford to trade Myles Garrett before the draft, because trading him before the draft cost them an extra $17 million in cap space. The only way that they can do that is to max restructure Deshaun Watson, basically guaranteeing another year of that. Max restructure Denzel Ward, who nobody on the team likes, and cut.
How do they get rid of Deshaun Watson? Is it it's got to be possible to move on, right?
They can't get rid of if they right now they can get rid of Deshaun Watson in the 2027 offseason. If they want to trade Myles Garrett,
2027 in 2 years. What the hell was this deal?
That's what happens when you give him $230 million fully guaranteed and then restructure him desperately trying to make it work.
Talking inept franchises to Cleveland.
Oh my gosh. I haven't dove into the finances of the Cleveland Browns of late, but it
makes two of us.
How the hell every time you hear about this Watson deal, it's like, yeah, they can move on, but it'll cost them $150 million in dead cap. I'm like, what?
So if they cut him next offseason, it will only cost them $100 million. Assuming they don't do anything, I think it would probably cost them $120 or $130 after they restructure him this year.
What if they cut him this year?
Deshaun Watson.
It cost them $170 million. The entire cap would just be eaten up by Deshaun.
Deshaun Watson stopped playing football, had sexual harassment cases, and the Browns hand him a $235 million contract. He hasn't done anything.
He's been worse than not doing anything.
Really matter. I was going to ask, why don't you just cut him this year? Because he's not going to play this year.
You can't. It's not possible.
No, yeah, but I realize now why.
If anything, maybe it would make sense to cut him and just say, look, NFL, either we don't play games this season, or you just let us ignore the salary cap.
This is way too much bad. This is way too much Browns.
I will say, last thing, then we'll get to Ziggy's game here. I know it's easy to make fun of the Browns and how horrible the situation was. The contract to me, I have to be careful with the phrasing of this. There's 3 buckets here. There was the contract, which was bad. You can't give him that much money. There was the situation with Deshaun Watson, which was also really bad. Probably don't want a serial sexual harasser on your team. But
ask Baltimore.
As far as
that's back to Ziggy's point. Like, if you're good, it doesn't matter.
That's the thing. It's like, as far as the player went, I actually thought, again, remember, strictly player focus here. I thought there was a chance that Deshaun Watson could return to the form he had when he first signed with Cleveland. We have videos. I'm pretty sure Ziggy predicted them.
I was the biggest Deshaun Watson believer as a player. I was lamenting that he was going to be good.
So I mean, in hindsight, it's 2020. Obviously, it was a horrible situation. It's been, I think, worse than possibly imagined for the Browns. But again, there was like, when this first happened, it's gone about as poorly as possible. Like, this is. So part of me is like, feels bad for Cleveland, but the other part's like, guys, you knew you were getting into.
Dude, I'm Jeremiah. I thought that Deshaun Watson was Babylon. It turns out he's Jerusalem. If you get that reference, throw it in the comments. You'll appreciate that.
All right. Let's get to Ziggy's Hall of Fame game here.
Yeah, so Sports Reference tracks in various ways Hall of Fame cases across 3 different sports: NBA, NFL, and MLB. In NBA, they give like a percentage. In the NFL and MLB, they don't exactly give a percentage, but I came up with a system that I think is equivalent. There are 5 NBA players, 6 NFL players, and 6 MLB players that they have as 100% chance locks to make it to the Hall of Fame. Some of them are names you'd expect. Some of them are names you may or may not expect.
And these are all current.
You get 3 lives. You got to guess the players.
So it was 5 NBA, 6 NFL, and 6 MLB.
Yeah.
And they're playing currently.
They are all active players.
Okay.
All right.
There was one player who, I'll give you this one for free. Zach Martin for the Cowboys. I'm counting him as not active. He's not on this list, but he would have been a lock.
Okay. Can I get a few baseball out of the way?
Sure.
Yeah, get baseball.
Justin Verlander.
Yep.
Mike Trout.
Yep.
Max Scherzer.
Yep.
Nice. Let's get the locks of locks down, right?
Yeah, okay. We'll get the locks of locks. So NBA is like LeBron.
Yep. Steph.
Yep.
Steph.
Durant.
Yep.
Probably Jokic. He's 3 MVPs, right? Jokic has got to.
Yeah, Jokic.
That is strike 1. He is .997.
Oh, you got to be kidding. What lunatic doesn't think Jokic is a lock to go to the Hall of Fame?
I don't know the NBA. NBA has got to be you.
If he retired, he'd probably move up to 100, but he's not there yet.
Okay. Who else in the NBA? I don't want to give like a guess.
Yeah. No. Let's just get some names down. Giannis is in there, right?
What about like Tatum?
No, I don't think Tatum's.
Okay, Giannis.
I think Giannis could. There's probably a couple guys that we're like forgetting.
Lillard.
You guys are going to need more than 3 lives.
No. We'll get there. All right, NFL. Let's go to NFL.
Okay.
We have to assume that Mahomes is going to be in, right? Well, Rodgers.
Yep.
Okay, Rodgers.
Oh
yeah. Okay, Mahomes.
Kelsey.
Yep.
Mahomes.
Part of me thinks that Mahomes might based on Ziggy's face.
He has to.
Hold on. Ziggy's face doesn't make me feel good about that.
All right, fine.
Who are some legends who are currently like does Derrick Henry count as like
TJ Watt?
Who are no. I don't think Watt would be in there. Who are some older guys?
I'll give you guys Mahomes. Mahomes is it.
Oh, okay. Well, let's think of guys who are like if they retired, they're in today, right? That's what the conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so Rodgers, Mahomes.
Can we get the positions?
No, wait, not yet. We don't need that yet.
That makes
You're not there.
Easy.
Well, doesn't make it too easy.
Who are some of the?
How many
Jefferson? Not yet.
How many defenders
is Davante Adams? Yeah, can we get defenders?
How many defenders are on the list?
We have 3 defenders, 0 offense remaining.
Oh, it's defense.
Wait. 3. I thought. Oh, Zach Martin would have been 7.
Yeah.
Who are some of the best defenders in the NFL?
Wait. Let's think. Older defenders who
Ramsey?
are. Oh, whoa. What the hell's his name? Is Calais Campbell a Hall of Famer?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Do you think Calais Campbell's a Hall of Famer?
Beast.
What, Ziggy? What's so funny about this? Stephon Gilmore's older.
This is what's funny about this. You get people asking, is Calais Campbell a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm like.
You're going to feel bad about some of these names you're missing. You're missing some obvious ones.
Jalen Ramsey.
In all 3 sports.
Oh, Ramsey? Wait, who's like that really good corner who still plays in the NFL?
Really good? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I feel like there's a really
Gilmore? Stephon Gilmore's older? There's got to be.
Maybe.
Who are... Von Miller for sure.
Von Miller's in.
Okay.
All right, so we got Von Miller.
I'm lost. I honestly don't know.
So just to review, we've got 2 basketball, 2 football, and 3 baseball.
3 baseball left.
I can get baseball. Can't get football.
I can. All right, work on the baseball a little bit. Is Judge in there or Ohtani?
No.
They're not in there?
No. Who's in there? Zach Greinke's in there.
That's strike 2. He just missed the cut, barely.
What was he?
Harper?
He was
Harper,
like the 5th ranked pitcher. He was right below the average.
How many more pitchers do we have? Can we get that as a hint?
We've got 2 pitchers.
Any closers? Any relief pitchers in there right now?
You're missing 2 really obvious names.
How is Greinke not there?
Oh wait, what about
What do we get?
DeGrom?
Scherzer, Verlander. I don't think
DeGrom.
DeGrom's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, Kershaw.
Yes, Kershaw.
Yeah, Kershaw's in.
Kershaw. There's another obvious pitcher that we're missing, Ziggy said.
His name's already been mentioned.
His name has been mentioned. Oh, is Ohtani?
Yeah, Ohtani's in.
Oh, Ohtani.
All right, so one more baseball.
One baseball.
One more baseball here.
We got 1 baseball.
This is kind of fun. I mean, I'm enjoying this game.
Basketball.
That's either Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman. I don't want to give a guess.
Over
yet,
Judge?
though.
Over Judge?
Yes, the Judge. Not yet.
What do you mean not yet? He's 2-time MVP.
He's just below. He's too young. It's one of those 2.
Betts or Freeman, right?
It's one of those 2.
But we have 1 strike left. You have to get this right.
I know.
Gotta be Freeman.
I'm thinking it's Betts.
I lean Mookie. You go Freeman?
I have no idea. I'm the worst MLB player you could.
How old is Mookie? Is Mookie that old?
He's older than you think.
Mookie or Freddie? Well, Freddie just have the great.
They both have rings.
I don't know.
Too. That's so tough.
Well, how many? Do they each have 1, or does Mookie have 2?
Mookie's had a better overall career.
Wait, I agree. Wait, Mookie had, but Freddie's older, right?
I'll give you this. Mookie Betts is 32.
And Freddie is.
How old is Freddie?
I don't know.
Did Mookie win a World Series in the COVID year? Was he on the Dodgers?
With Boston.
I think we go Mookie.
It's got to be Mookie.
I think we go Mookie.
Okay, Mookie.
It's Mookie.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Freddie Freeman was the next guy on the list.
Okay.
Wow. Well done, Jack. Great job with baseball. I mean,
so baseball's good. You completed that.
So the Dodgers currently have 3 Hall of Famers. All right, 2 NBA and 2 NFL, and they're both defense in the NFL
Steph.
right now.
Did we say Steph?
We got Steph, LeBron,
so
Durant.
2 NBA, 2 NFL.
I'm trying. Let's just
Kyrie.
think of guys. Kyrie was one I was thinking. You could have. Would they put Anthony Davis in?
I don't know.
Would they put Giannis? How could Jokic not be? Jokic is a 3-time MVP and a Finals champion. That's insanity.
That is insanity.
It's got to be Giannis, right?
Yeah, let's go Giannis.
It has to be Giannis.
Giannis.
All right, I'm giving you guys a pass on that one. It is not Giannis. Giannis wasn't even the closest remaining NBA player.
How is he not in the Hall of Fame? Isn't he like the face of the NBA right now?
No, so this is to hit 100 like on this ranking. Giannis is well over 99%. It's you got to be special.
Oh, I know. Oh, no. Chris Paul.
Yeah, Chris Paul is in.
Okay.
Chris Paul for sure.
Jeez,
And
what do you have to be fucking? Do you have to be ancient?
James Harden.
Oh, that actually could be it.
James Harden.
Oh, wait, hold on. There's also Westbrook is in there.
Oh yeah, Westbrook.
Harden.
Frankie Lakina.
I feel like it'd be Harden before Westbrook.
Is it Westbrook or Harden?
It's one of those 2. Those 2 were the closest. Harden and Westbrook were like one of them was 100, one of them was like 0.999.
I think I would guess Westbrook, but I'm not.
I mean, he's like a triple-double king,
that's
right?
the only reason why.
Triple-double, but they both have 1 MVP.
Yeah.
Gosh, Harden's such an unbelievable scorer. I think I would go Westbrook. What do you guys think? You like Harden?
You're kind of like Harden, but I don't know. I like Westbrook.
It was James Harden.
Oh, we should listen to you, Jack. Harden.
That was my gut.
All right, you know what? You get a chance to redeem yourself.
All right, and we got 2 NFL players left, both on defense here.
I have no idea.
One of them was a surprise to me. The other one was not.
It could Bobby Wagner. It's got to be Bobby Wagner.
Oh,
Bobby
yeah.
Wagner's a good one.
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner's in.
That's a good one.
He was the one who did not surprise me.
And
this player actually had much better career stats than I sort of realized. You talk about him as like a star, but I didn't quite realize he was at that level. I think just because he's been so good for so long, you kind of forget about him.
Okay,
I was going to say
he had a really great
Rashawn
season
Gary.
in 2023.
kind of forget about him.
He had a great season in what, 2023?
2023. It was an unbelievable season out of nowhere. It was one of the best seasons of his career.
Unbelievable 2023. I know.
Defensive player.
2023 was.
Can we get AFC or NFC?
No. Hold on. We could do this.
I'm lost.
He's played in both during his career.
CJ Mosley.
No. Hold on. We got this. He's played in both. Unbelievable 2023 out of
Pac-Man
nowhere.
Jones.
He's got. We got this. Come on. We can do this here. A great 2023 season.
Is he a Buccaneer? Are there any Buccaneers?
Oh, what about like Devin White?
No, stop. What? Are you kidding me? Look at Ziggy's face. Come on. Who?
You could get one guess. Come on, guys.
Oh,
let's go for it.
What about who's a 49er
Do you want position?
linebacker?
40
Bosa?
No. Well, I mean, Bosa's one. Who's the other? No, who's the linebacker?
That beast.
Fred Warner.
No, he's only been on the
Not
Niners,
yet.
hasn't he?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
talking about someone who's been in both conferences.
Oh,
The fact that he isn't on this list is incredible because Fred Warner's.
Well,
amazing.
what's Fred Warner's number, Ziggy? 'Cause Fred Warner's a monster.
So the way they do it in the NFL, they didn't rank them. There's like average Hall of Fame player. I put in only players who were above the average Hall of Fame player at the position.
I got
So that's why like Trent Williams didn't make it. Derrick Henry didn't make it because the standard of those positions is so high.
Oh, I know who it is.
Who is
it is. Is it Khalil Mack?
It is Khalil Mack.
Oh, good call.
You don't realize sitting back there, Khalil Mack has 108 career sacks.
Dude, yeah. What do you have?
So
16?
good for so long.
Didn't he have like 16 or 17 in
He had
2023?
17 in 2023.
I think it's
Nobody
6 in
paid
one
attention
game.
to
No,
this.
but that was that the year that he got like
6 in one
7
game.
sacks in one
Yeah,
game?
he did.
And then,
He
like,
did.
fell off.
He had 17 sacks in a year. I don't know what more. Even if you take that game out, 10 sacks in your 11th season in the NFL is very good.
Ziggy,
So-
that was a fun game, Ziggy.
So wait, we lost on. What did we lose on? Harden,
you
Westbrook?
lost on James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and
And
I
then-
feel bad about that one.
But you gave us an extra strike on Giannis, didn't
Yeah.
you? So we had 5 strikes we got there.
yeah. It's not too
Yeah,
bad.
it's not so bad.
It's not too
so
bad.
All right, let's
I'm
close
surprised-
things
how
off
is
here.
Zach Greinke not on there?
That really
That's
shocked me.
ridiculous.
Well, who was our first strike again? Oh, Jokic. That was that was dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's in the NBA. Just to read off after Harden, you get Westbrook, AD, Jokic, Giannis, and Damian Lillard, all above 99%.
Yeah. So all right, we were right there on all of them.
But like the thing
You
is,
said
that
every
one
single
means
one.
you're like a surefire first ballot instant lock.
That's funny.
Russell Westbrook, if he'd ever won a championship, would be up there.
Yeah,
James
that's
Harden just has more All Stars, more NBAs. He has 6th Man of the Year.
Yeah. That's pretty funny, Zach. I was not thinking like my brain did not go to Lillard for some reason. Probably just because he's never really had a postseason.
I think he plays
run.
in Portland.
Yeah.
He was
Well, he's
amazing
bucking
on
now. He's bucking out.
Oh, that's right.
It's
That goes to show
like
how
I said,
much, how much
yeah.
NBA I watch.
All right, let's wrap this thing up here then with the sandwich draft. Again, these drafts are thought of usually on the spot here, but producer Zach came in. We were going to do the animal draft, and producer Zach's like, screw that. It's about sandwiches. Let's just get a couple things clear. Hot dog is not a sandwich. Ziggy, I was trying to push for a... No, none of that crap. I don't know how that's possible.
Okay, I'll only pick traditional sandwiches.
Yeah, Zach. Well, Zach and Jack, here's two sandwiches we need to clarify. They said no on burgers.
Agreed.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ziggy.
I was
We're
trying to
not
argue
counting a
for burgers.
hot dog. We're not counting.
All right, no burgers, and then was it bacon, egg, and cheese?
on a
Yeah,
bagel.
Taylor ham, egg, and cheese.
I think that can count.
Okay.
Wait,
All right.
on a bagel or on a bun?
on a bagel.
On a bagel.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they call them breakfast sandwiches.
All right, we'll
don't they?
include it. We'll
accept
include it.
I'll
But here,
accept
let's do this. If we say bacon, egg, or cheese, or Taylor ham, like that's one sandwich. There's no like.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Zach, go ahead. Pick a random order here.
We're gonna go 2-1-3.
Oh, I meant like a person. I know that's the way we've never done it before, but
You're just telling me pick a random person.
All right, hold on, let me get
2-1-3.
All right.
We've been doing numbers all this
all
time.
right, let's try
And now
again.
you're gonna hit me with that.
All right, hold on. Let me think in my head.
All right,
Okay, got it.
We're gonna go Jack Ziggy Paul.
Yes.
See, in that time I actually picked numbers.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for Zach to give numbers again.
Me too.
Okay.
All right. Oh, sweet.
I love the turn in this, but there are a lot of good sandwiches.
There
This
are.
is-
There's
Oh,
more
wraps.
than you think. Like if
Wraps.
you're watching this, I want you to think
I
there's
was
going to be
gonna say
sandwiches
wraps
you hadn't
don't
thought of.
Wraps don't count. Zach says wraps don't count.
Maybe wraps don't
Totally
count.
agree. The wrap is not a sandwich.
I think you
Okay.
could make your own thing with a wrap.
All right.
Like
Okay.
one
So I got
category.
number one here.
You got number one.
All right. I am going to start us off with a turkey BLT.
God, I forgot I wanted that pick. Damn it.
Choke.
Choke?
What do you
Turkey
mean
BLT is delicious.
Turkey BLT
He's
is
letting
fantastic.
Jordan go to take.
That's the Michael Jordan of sandwiches.
No. You're going to find out who the Michael Jordan is.
Ziggy, before you say yours, I think we all agree that we know what yours is.
I know it's Ziggy.
Yeah, I know it's Ziggy.
We all know what Ziggy's picking. And if he doesn't, I'm going to snatch it up. No.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going in here with the grilled cheese.
That is not what I thought. But grilled cheese
is the
great.
obvious 1-1.
I do love a grilled cheese, and you throw some
turkey
bacon on
BLT
it.
The grilled cheese is so versatile. So many different kinds of cheese, so many different kinds of bread. You can put stuff in it with sauce. The tomato soup dip.
These are some fantastic
grilled cheese is great,
here.
but turkey BLT beats that.
Okay, well, I'm going to go for I think the poster boy of sandwiches here. I'm going to take the PB&J, peanut butter and jelly. It's a great sandwich. A classic growing up as a kid. You get PB&J for lunch. Like
they're still good.
They're phenomenal. Zach, I mean, this is appeasing to Zach here as well. I'm playing the judge game because I know Zach houses PB&J, so he's playing Warzone at night. So, all right, I'll go with the PB&J. And then for the second sandwich, I'm going to go... I'll go with an Italian hero. I love a good Italian hero. I throw hot peppers on it too, a little oil and vinegar. Perfect. It's a phenomenal start.
I'm not a huge fan.
No?
No.
I love an Italian.
I think you could have done better there with that second pick.
All right, well, we'll see. We'll see when we get back to Jack what could have been better. Ziggy,
you're up here. I think it's an easy slot in. I'm going for the Cubano.
Cubano?
You got the Cuban bread, you got the ham, the pork, the Swiss cheese, the pickles, the mustard.
I'm getting hungry just listening to
a really good one, Paul. Like you go to Miami, when you're having a good Cubano, it's incredible.
Welcome to
I love
Miami.
a good Cuban.
Bienvenido a Miami.
All right.
I'm going to take a spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's.
That's so good. I think you could just take all spicy chicken sandwiches.
Maybe all spicy chicken sandwiches.
Oh my gosh, Jack. What a great draft so far. That's the other one I was thinking about before I took the Italian.
I literally have LeBron and Jordan playing on the same team.
God, you got it good.
With spicy chicken and turkey BLT. I think I won already.
I think Jack says that every time we have a draft.
And that's never true. This
Zach,
time he's actually got some.
Zach, you'd be a lunatic not to pick me in this draft.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying every time you draft, it always seems to be you have LeBron and
I always think I always do. I always know.
No, he does have LeBron because I got PB&J Jordan. Yeah. Grilled cheese, Ziggy. Right. Well, Ziggy. All right, so you went spicy chicken. Now you're
grilled cheese. Ziggy got like Steph.
I mean, this is all. I think so far there's been no disaster.
Horrendous picks
so far.
All right, what do you got?
There's still some big players on the board.
I wish these were like 9 rounds because there's so many good sandwiches. Like I could have picked. I
wouldn't have thought it, but like you go for the. All right, Jack. What's on the turn here?
This isn't gonna be liked, but it's a sandwich I eat all the time. It's a meatball sub.
Oh, it's a great pick.
What do you mean? It's a good pick.
That's what I wanted. That's what I was gonna take.
I love meatball subs. I eat those probably once or twice a week. Fantastic. A great 3rd round pick in my eyes. So I got turkey BLT, meatball sub, and spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah, it's a loaded draft.
That's a runaway.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a runaway.
That's fantastic.
When I lived in Memphis, there was not a whole lot I liked about it. But there was one thing I loved. Well, there were 2 things I loved. One was the fried catfish sandwich, but we aren't picking that. The other, perhaps more natural pick, pulled pork sandwich, but with coleslaw.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
My God. What a draft.
On its own is like whatever, right? Like it's good, no doubt. But the coleslaw on top, like on the sandwich, not on the side. They give you coleslaw on the side. You're like shoveling that into the sandwich. That's all there.
Oh,
is this our best draft ever?
Yeah, I'm about to bring it home.
Well,
I'm about
to way
bring
better
the house
than
down.
the large things draft.
I'm about to bring the house down here. So I think just to throw out a couple of great sandwiches. Chicken salad sandwich, fantastic.
Yeah, grilled chicken.
Jack's a tuna salad fan. Yeah. I think a sausage, peppers, and onion sandwich, fantastic. Pastrami.
Yo, SPO.
Hot pastrami. We talked about it right off the top of this draft. I don't know how. I'm surprised it fell past Jack. Bacon, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel. What a way to start your morning. Just a fantastic way to start your morning.
That's a great pick.
But yeah, Taylor ham or bacon, egg, and whatever you prefer, whatever meat it is there. I mean, that is a great start to any morning. This is a loaded draft.
And I'm happy to see none of us took the Greg Oden of this draft, the Philly cheesesteak.
It's a great.
The Philly cheesesteak is okay. It's all right, but it's gonna let you down every time.
You know,
it's hyped up. You think this is gonna be the best thing ever, and then it's like mediocre.
I'm totally with you. I'm sorry. I do like a Philly cheesesteak, but I get what you're
okay. But like, there's nothing special about it.
This was a phenomenal draft.
You know what's really funny is my brother just texted me, "Do you want anything from this restaurant?" called La Gondola in Ramsey, and I'm like, yeah,
free ads right there.
I'm like, yeah, get me a meatball sub.
Nice.
So that's my dinner tonight.
All right.
Nice. All right.
Man
so
of his word.
Producer Zach,
Yeah, tough choice.
you got a tough choice here. All right. So Jack, turkey BLT, spicy chicken sandwich, meatball parm. That's fantastic, Jack. Well done.
Thank you.
Ziggy, grilled cheese, Cubano, pulled pork
with coleslaw.
with coleslaw. Paul, PB&J, Italian hero, bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, that's all. These are all fantastic.
You can't go wrong. I feel really
I'm
good.
really interested in hearing what the fans think because I have no idea who was the best draft here.
Can I give two? Can I give?
Do you think there's a tie?
Well, no. I don't think there's a tie, but there's like my pick, and then I think there's the fans,
like
pick.
the general pick and then your pick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go for it.
I know I won this draft from Zach.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, we'll just shut Paul right down. No, you didn't.
No. Ziggy got him with the pulled pork.
Ziggy, I think.
Really?
So for me personally, I think Ziggy.
You house
has won this.
PB&J.
I do house PB&J.
Oh, what?
But just because I house one PB&J doesn't mean I don't also house grilled cheeses.
Like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You house spicy chicken though.
I do have spicy chicken. But I do think Jack wins the popular vote.
I can't believe I'm not even on. I guess I am on the podium.
You're on the podium, but
votes.
I think Jack will win the fan vote. Me personally, I would go Ziggy.
Oh, so Paul just totally left off the map.
I'm shocked.
No, is it like Paul's
Great
close.
sandwich.
But the thing is, there's
Paul's
so
close.
many good sandwiches.
Yeah.
Like the comments will have like split.
You all right there, Ziggy?
No, we're good. I can't believe how many good sandwiches there are. And that's how Jack was going to keep talking.
Oh, that was great. Oh, we might have to. We might have to do.
Well, let's just wrap the show here. We're not topping this.
Yeah, this was.
All right,
no pun intended. We're not
I'm
topping.
going with my maple hero now.
Oh, it's so good. Which one of these right now would you get, guys? If you could order one right now, like post show, we.
Well, I literally just got a meatball sub.
Yeah, I guess
so. Meatball sub. And that's my 3rd round pick too.
Yeah, I might go meatballs right now. Oh, pulled pork. I might go pulled pork. Well done, Ziggy. Well done, guys. A great job. All right, that'll wrap up today's show. We'll be back next or later this week. Remember, the mailbag is out right now, so if you made it this whole way, you hear the shout out. You go to our community page, drop a question. There's already a bunch of questions, so hopefully we get that filled up. But we'll see you next time.